Welcome back to the Live Radiantly show on YouTube. So, in case you missed it, this was a request for one of my subscribers that I do my live radio show and podcast as a video on YouTube. And because I record my podcasts live at WMPG, which is the university, the radio station from the University of Southern Maine, I can't quite, do all of like working the board, running the show and recording. So this is a fun solution that you all get to see me practicing, but hopefully still benefiting from what I have to share vis-a-vis the video. So anyways, you're listening to Live Radiantly, a talk show dedicated to guiding you through the challenges of life with creativity, curiosity, and a spark of imagination. My name is Stephanie McLeod Estevez. I'm an art therapist and breast cancer survivor. I'm passionate about helping everyone, including myself, feel resilient and capable so that we can navigate the ups and downs of life and discover our unique radiance. After all, your radiance is how you identify what's possible so that you can move from surviving to thriving. Join me each week as I discuss thought-provoking themes and then guide you through a live art therapy experiential so that you can explore how the theme impacts your life with the goal of understanding yourself better. While I do hope that you'll walk away each week feeling inspired, please note that this show is not a replacement for therapy itself. I do hope that what I have to share will benefit how you see yourself, others, and the world around you. Then I go into a disclaimer that this is not, these are my opinions and not those of WMPG. La la la. Okay, so today we're going to explore making friends with your inner saboteur. It's a good one. In the second half of the show, we'll do an art therapy experiential that will help you explore this theme. If you've never tried art therapy before, no worries. I'm going to guide you through the process. And like everything else, it gets easier the more you try. A quick note. You can do art therapy by actually creating something on paper, of course, or by using your imagination. The good news is that both ways benefit you. So if you're driving in a car or unable to stop what you're doing to draw or paint, that's okay. You can imagine what you'd create, and then when you have time, put it down on paper. Today's show is inspired by one of the songs I added to my set list that I just played as a covering DJ for Tom Michael's show Under the Influence on WMPG. Now, of course, this is a practice run, so I haven't just done this, but if you're curious to hear my set list, go to WMPG.org, and if you can find the show date that went live. So you go into programming, you find the show Under the Influence, and you're going to look for April 16th, 2026, because I have no idea when you're seeing this. But anyways, or I could always send you the link. It's currently on Spotify, so you can request that. Leave me a message below. Anyways, so I recently discovered Chance Peña's song, The Mountain Is You. When I was looking up the meaning behind the song, I read that it was about overcoming obstacles and conquering your inner fears, aka the mountain, that hold us back by facing them rather than avoiding or trying to escape them. And ding, 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 my inspiration for this week's show had arrived. Why not look at something we've all dealt with, our inner saboteur? Before we jump into the info I have to share about your inner saboteur, I want to highlight the work of Richard Schwartz and why it's vital to do this kind of self-discovering, healing, and growth work. Richard wrote a book called No Bad Parts: Healing Trauma and Restoring Wholeness with the Internal Family Systems Model, which encourages us to find a way to love and accept all of our different parts, which is kind of fun because I just got finished recording shorts on self-worth. So if you didn't see them and you see this, you can go back in my feed. But anyways, I digress. Well, also being personally accountable to our healing and growth work, which means looking at your inner saboteur. And here's why. Richard writes, we often find that the harder we try to get rid of emotions and thoughts, the stronger they become. This is because our parts, like people, fight back against feeling or being shamed and exiled. Does this sound familiar? I've certainly grappled with this. In psychology, your inner saboteur are the thoughts and habits that create negative emotion, self-doubt, and stress by undermining your performance, your relationships, and your well-being. While your inner saboteur may initially help you get out of discomfort, right? That's why we all have them, or worse. Worse being the discomfort you feel. Your inner saboteur inevitably inhibits growth and healing. Your inner saboteur is a part of you that evokes deep frustration, maybe even self-loathing. But I believe that one of the kindest ways you can perceive your inner saboteur is by viewing this part as a misguided survival mechanism. The good news is, when you take time to learn about the why and the how of your inner saboteur, you can figure out new ways of responding when it gets activated. So let's name some of the common saboteur profiles, and keep in mind, you probably have more than one. So there's the judge, the one who criticizes you, others, and situations like mercilessly, without any grace. The pleaser, the part of you that seeks approval no matter the cost for survival. The avoider, the one that avoids discomfort. The controller, the one who always wants to be in control. The restless, the one who seeks constant novelty. The stickler, aka the perfectionist. The hyper-rational, the one who ignores their feelings, and more. Are you feeling any of these tugging at your attention? Quite frankly, I can relate to most of them. Some of them are stronger in me than others, but I've played all of those parts before. For most of us, our inner saboteur parts come from childhood experiences and deep-seated limiting beliefs that we are not enough. So again, fascinating how this tags in with my self-worth videos from today. They evolve into defense mechanisms that are trying to keep you safe, even if it shoots you in the foot in the long run. They get activated when you are reminded, consciously or not, of the unresolved pain from the past. And when this happens, you're often sent into survival mode, which can trigger anxiety, frustration, and the good old procrastination. More often than not, your saboteur reacts to your circumstances, which takes you away from being in the present moment and sets off this pattern of trying to feel protected. What I love about internal family systems work and the book, No Bad Parts, is that healing and growth happens when we learn to love and accept these parts, listen to what they're trying to tell you, and then respond with compassion and love so that we can undo or override old programming, take care of ourselves better, and be aware of what still needs attending to. This, in some respects, is called post-traumatic growth, people. Anytime you decrease unhealthy levels of shame and guilt, you improve your ability to evolve as a human because you can take responsibility for what's yours without rejecting, abandoning, or harming yourself. So yes, in my humble opinion, this is why we are here. If you're curious to learn more and explore how you might be sabotaging yourself, check out the Saboteur assessment on the website Positive Intelligence. And then look for a copy of the book, No Bad Parts by Richard Schwartz. This book has helped work some magic for my clients. I also highly recommend being in therapy. You do not need to do this alone. You probably shouldn't try to do this alone, because having a trusted sounding board, a trusted companion in this journey is incredibly important for true healing. If this theme is resonating for you, take a moment to acknowledge what's coming up. This week's Art Therapy Experiential is going to help you explore it. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about art therapy and how it works. So this is when I remind people that they're listening to Live Radiantly on WMPG. You're watching Live Radiantly, or maybe just listening to it on YouTube. Okay, so today we're going to talk about art therapy as a form of meditation. But if today is your very first time trying art therapy, I want you to know that you do not need to be an artist to benefit from this practice. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Essentially, art therapy is a type of communication that uses color, shape, and form to tell your story. The most important thing to know is that this is a practice of trusting what your creative instinct wants you to do. So if you feel a little nervous, know that it won't last forever. The form of meditation I feel is most like art therapy is called Vipassana meditation. This type of meditation actively observes the interconnection between the body and mind. So unlike just clearing your mind, this meditation is helping you tune in to the here and now. It can help you slow down and acknowledge your thoughts and feelings with more clarity and calmness. The intention is to learn how to observe your inner world without judgment, leading to a profound sense of harmony and well-being, kind of like IFS and doing inner saboteur work. Similarly, when you're doing art therapy, you're tuning into what's happening inside so that you can reflect what you observe through color, shape, and form. As you move into a project, your physical and emotional sensations, they slow down because they can tell you're listening. Your mind quiets, your breathing calms, and your nervous system relaxes. And this is one of the most remarkable things I've felt and witnessed time and time again. It's super cool. In my humble opinion, art therapy can amplify the impact of traditional meditation practice by making your internal experience visible. Like regular meditation, art therapy can help you tune into the present moment. Being able to see how you feel makes it more tangible, which can allow you to understand yourself at a deeper level and what you need, while reflecting back what your intuitive wisdom has to say about it. It's super cool. I love it. This can lead to improved self-awareness, understanding, insight, and creative solutions. As John Kabat-Zinn reminds us, it's not about stopping the waves, right? Because who can do that? It's learning to surf them. Using art therapy as a form of meditation is one way to surf feelings so that you can feel more empowered no matter what circumstances you face. As with everything in life, the more you practice using art therapy as a way to communicate, the easier it gets. Okay, so now I would typically play a song because that would allow me to drink some water, but also allow listeners to get ready to do some art therapy. So if you want to, I'm going to guide you through a meditation. And if you want to do some art therapy, then please, after you experience the meditation, hit pause, get yourself ready, and then come back to the video when you're ready. So welcome back. In the second half of this show, I'm inviting you to try art therapy, whether that's on paper or using your imagination. I'll guide you through a meditation that will help you explore today's theme. Once this is complete, I'll put on a song so that you can continue to draw or imagine how today's theme of your inner saboteur, is showing up for you right here, right now. Whatever comes up is what you're going to draw or visualize, so trust your instinct. Just before the show ends, I'll be back with guidance on where to go from here and an invitation. So today's meditation is about practicing how to make friends with your inner saboteur. Something I am trying to promise you by the title of this video. Inviting in play and presence to imbue you and your circumstances with more compassion. If you are in a place where you can soften or close your eyes, please do so. This will help you get in touch with yourself. If you're not able to do this, get as comfortable as you can. For today's guided meditation, we're going to imagine your inner saboteur, that part of you that tends to respond to stress by undercutting your ability, is like a little monster. In this case, a gremlin, a small, imaginary, mischievous creature that is responsible for malfunctions. You may be familiar with the movie Gremlins from the 1980s that had these little chaotic and destructive creatures that fed off fear. The goal is not to rid yourself of your gremlin, but to learn how to respond rather than react to its mischievous nature. Imagine that you are grappling with something difficult, a moment in your life which someone or something has pushed your stress buttons. You feel your body fueled by adrenaline. Your mind starts spouting off lots of negative chatter. And right in front of you, your gremlin pops up and begins to create chaos by pushing all of your buttons. You notice that when you react to this naughty gremlin, it gets bigger and louder. This gremlin is skilled at getting your attention. But the good news is that you already know that while your gremlin might look big, you are aware of how to tame it. Let's begin by inviting in the pause. Imagine that what's happening right now is a scene in a movie happening between you and your gremlin. And you have the power to press the pause button, stopping all the action until you feel more grounded. See yourself hitting the pause button, and then in your mind's eye, see yourself taking a seat, and give yourself permission to sit there as long as you need until you realize that while you might be uncomfortable, this gremlin is a reaction to your stress, not a reflection of your capabilities. As this awareness filters into your body, mind, spirit, and self, you remind yourself that when these gremlins show up, it's a sign that you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And that one of the ways you can decrease the pressure is by taking a deep breath in, breathing in what you need, and then your exhale, lets out the pressure you feel. Now that you feel more grounded and centered in this pause, take a moment to get familiar with your inner saboteur, that little gremlin that's in front of you. Begin to play with the details of what you see. Create a character for your gremlin in a way that liberates you from the power it has over you. Create a silly portrait of this gremlin, one that helps you invite in kindness and playfulness. Because this little monster, this gremlin, is a reflection of the part of you that has deep needs and a deep desire to be accepted. This awareness helps you to understand how to offer your gremlin the love it needs so that you and your gremlin can work together. Now imagine you're restarting the video between you and your gremlin. See that your gremlin is once again trying to get your attention, capturing it with this chaos, and figure out how you want to disarm it through play. Maybe you reach out and tickle your gremlin in the spot you know that makes it laugh uncontrollably. Maybe you toss a ball to your gremlin and say, let's play. Or perhaps you know what your gremlin needs is a cozy blanket wrapped around it and you reading a story to soothe its jagged edges. Whatever your instinct tells you about what your gremlin needs to feel less overwhelmed, less afraid, less heavy, see yourself following through and responding with loving kindness and compassion. And notice how this shifts the dynamic between you, your gremlin, and your inner saboteur. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel the support of the surface beneath you, bringing you back to the here and now. Tune into your experience and the intuitive knowledge that has surfaced during this meditation. If nothing comes to mind, allow that to be your experience today. The messages might come to you as you use art therapy to represent what you experienced during this visualization. When you feel really connected to your experience, begin or continue to use creativity to reflect what happened on paper or in your imagination. Your creation may want to be abstract or lifelike. Trust your instinct as to what color, shape, and form it wants to be. Enjoy creating and reflecting with this song, Pause for Peace. Well, actually, I'm not playing that right now. Pause the video to create, maybe put on some nice music that puts you in that creative frame of mind. But then after you do your creation, please come back. I have a little bit more to share to kind of, give this practice a full cycle of experience. So I'll give you a moment to hit pause. Welcome back. If you've just come through the experiential with me, congratulations, you did it. You may need more time to explore, and I hope you give yourself the time you deserve. Now give your creation a title, whatever it is, the very first thing that comes to mind, because often these words bring additional insight and awareness. Write it down or mentally note what it is. I'll leave you today with a quote from Richard Schwartz from his book, No Bad Parts. He reminds us, how we relate to our inner world will be how we relate to the outer. If we can appreciate and have compassion for our parts, even the ones we consider to be enemies, we can do the same for the people who resemble them. May it serve you well as you consider how to make friends with your inner saboteur. And as always, I say this in my show all the time, I invite you to be in touch with me. So, being that this is YouTube, you can click on my profile, my channel, and there's all these ways in which we can connect through social media, through my website. You can shoot me an email, through my free Substack, which I do a monthly newsletter, plus I send out the podcast. And also, I have a freebie to give away, which is like a handout you can do. So many good things. So check it out. Reach out to me. Let me know how today went. Love to hear from you. But before we say goodbye, let's take a moment to breathe in what we created together. Do you feel a shift inside? May this experience continue to reverberate throughout your day. So I am actually going to be away next week. And so there won't be, I'll do shorts, but you won't have a upload of the podcast for 2 weeks. But until we meet again, I invite you to spark your curiosity and tune into your creativity so that you can live radiantly. Have a lovely day. From my heart to yours.